spotted some. Come on,
Johnny,
hey, you.
Johnny Nelson's down
Come
there.
on.
He looks like he's about to go and open the batting for England in all white.
Here he
we've
comes.
got to get him
he
up
comes.
here.
Yeah,
Here he is. Here he is. He's coming out at Lord's.
We only want to see your cricket suit. That's
Look
all.
at
Come on,
this.
come on, in
A
you come.
fantastic outfit.
It's tennis.
Come on, come and stand there. Tennis, this is cricket, Johnny. Come on. Come on. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, boys. Nice to see you. That was good. Nice and done and dusted. It was listen, look at these trio. Look at us. Look at us. Look at us.
It's like the boy band's back together, and it's a bit
The
weird.
band got back together.
You know what? The event's over now. It's now time for action, and I think Joseph Parker. That's the most intriguing one, of course. Can you imagine? Can you just imagine if Martin Bakole flew in middle of the night, turned everybody over like Robin Hood, in and out? Can you imagine if he did it?
Well, do you know what the weird thing is? You can't rule it out. That is the thing, Martin Bakole, because forget, what sort of shape is he in shape, is he not in shape? If he is or he isn't, Johnny, you know yourself as a fighter, he's dangerous for 6 rounds, whatever it is.
And you think, you know what? You go on YouTube. You look where the news was broken to Joseph Parker. He said, "Well, Martin Bakole," and the next thing he said was, "He's a dangerous guy. Nobody wants him." So no matter what Frank said, no matter what Spencer Brown says, no matter what anybody said, can you imagine being a fly in the back room? When they said it's Martin Bakole, they'd have said, no. I saw Spencer Brown on the stage when the news broke. His phone rang. He looked at his phone, and when he's looking at his phone, he sat down, and it was Turkey, because you see a fear on his face. He got up, went and answered the phone in the corner. He's on the phone. His head's rocking left to right. I'm watching him. He puts the phone down, and then the coach came in. Oh my God! The coach came in. He's arguing with the coach, and he's like, hands are in the air. Went up to Frank, whispered something to Frank, and you can see the shock on her face. They won that fight.
Yeah.
They won that fight, but they've got to play it out.
Johnny, you did everything in your incredible career, the ups, the downs, the travelling, all of that. What is Martin Bakole thinking right now in the air? He's not in fight shape, but he's got his gloves, he's got his bag. Billy Nelson will join him here. They'll land and they'll fight. What is going through his mind?
Adam, I'll tell you what he thinks. He thinks, I've got Joseph Parker's number. I've done him time after time after time in sparring. He fancies the fight. He thinks he's 60% of himself. He's one of those fighters that actually lives in the gym just sparring all the time. He thinks, I can come here, do a daylight robbery, beat a guy that I beat up on a regular occasion. I'm 60% of myself, and I'm going to leave. He's not come here to make the numbers up. He's come here to shock the world in such a big fight, leapfrog everybody, and be in a position to fight Danny Dubois.
Well, come on and give us the prediction. Does he do it? Does he pull off the shot? Does he do the Mission Impossible?
Listen, there's head, there's heart, there's imagination. Imagination says, I hope he does do it, just to shock the world. Common sense tells you Joseph Parker's been preparing for this moment. Joseph Parker, his style should get him through this. He should win. But do not write off the guy that everybody avoids, nobody wants to talk about. And remember, he's talked about beating up everybody in boxing and in sparring, from Anthony Joshua to Alexander Usyk, and not one of them has said he's lying. He's the guy that everybody avoids.
Well, go on then, mate. You've got to go and open the batting now, so away you go.
Off you go.
Yeah.
That's it, nice and slow. That's it. Where's the bat?
Brilliant.
Oh, let's bring in him. Here we go. We'll swap out Johnny in for...
Do they do subs with cricket?
We're subbing you in, yeah, 12th man.
Is that
12th man, Dave Caldwell. Great to see you. You just love fight cards like this.
Yeah, I love Fight Week. I love everything about big shows and fight nights. Incredible. I just feel privileged to be involved in things like this.
Well, look, we saw what event they put on, last October, and it was billed as the best fight in boxing today, in this modern era of boxing, and they delivered.
Yeah.
It exceeded what I thought it was going to be. If you're a boxing man and you appreciate the art of boxing, and we got a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Do we get the same again, Dave?
I'll be honest with you. I think we get better. Both fighters and both camps have got such tremendous boxing IQ, knowledge. They're going to go back, look at the fights. I think Beterbiev, for the first 5 rounds, didn't go to the body enough in the first fight. And I was surprised. I was really surprised. I was like, why is he not going to the body? And then he started going to the body, and then we saw in the last couple of rounds how he sucked Bivol into a dogfight. He needs Bivol to be stood in front of him for a dogfight. Now, Bivol has now tasted Beterbiev's mythical power, the monster, the strength, the punch power, the relentlessness.
Which is huge.
Which is huge. But he's now tasted it. It's not an unknown anymore. He understands it. I actually think that Bivol's going to go in there, and we've heard him speak about saying he needs to do more. He's accepted a loss, but he needs to do more. I think he's going to try to do more, look to do more. But does that play into Beterbiev's hands? Because the more that he does, the more his feet are in front of him and he's in range for Beterbiev. If Beterbiev this time is targeting the chest and the body a lot more, that zaps him a little bit more. If Bivol has to stand in front of him more earlier, does he have the endurance to last longer? Because he looked very uncomfortable in the closing stages of the first fight. So where I thought Bivol would win the first fight, and on the night I thought Bivol nicked it, but it could have gone either way. This time I'm kind of leaning towards Beterbiev, because also I think maybe what was a factor was the rush job with an injury.
Yeah.
To be able, I watched a bit of Beterbiev's training for this fight, and his feet look sharper. His feet look good. So I genuinely don't know which way it's going to go. But
Interestingly, I interviewed Dimitri Bivol earlier in the week on Monday, and he said he had that in his mind that he was going to be this, monstrous strength and this punch power, and he said he was pleasantly surprised that it wasn't what he thought it was.
Yeah.
And he said, I had all that going on in my head, so I've had to go and rediscover myself, reinvent myself, and I think that's the fascination about this fight. Who can make those slight adjustments to win this contest? Because that is the difference between winning and losing.
this one,
He's so classy. I agree with Dave. I thought Dimitri Bivol nicked the first fight, but I want to just go back because you break it down so brilliantly. With your trainer's hat on, get inside their trainers' heads and what they've got to do. Not just the fighters, but you talk about the camps and the homework they've done and the IQ there. What are the trainers thinking? What are they going to set out to do?
Well, in terms of Beterbiev, it's like what I said. For me, I was watching it as I kind of watch fights as a coach when I'm watching. I can't really enjoy the fights normally just without analysing it at the same time. And I was baffled that he didn't go to the body. I really did. I mean, and if I was in Beterbiev's corner, I'd be saying for the first few rounds while he's shot, forget about his head. Like, flick the jab at his head, but be stepping, going to the chest, going to the body, hitting on the shoulders, hitting on the arms, just getting more stationary. And then when you touch him with the first shot, then you know where he is. You can go again and again. With Bivol, he's got a rhythm, and he needs to fight just keeping that rhythm. Pop the jab, a little bit more angles rather than backing up, and like what I was saying, he needs to work more. A lot of times in the exchanges early doors in that fight, when they both exchanged at the same time, Bivol did really well. It came off on top in some of the exchanges. Now you can't, just because of that, you can't think I'm going to stand in front of him, because that's where Beterbiev will grind you down. He's got to fire his shots, nullify it, get off to the sides a little bit, and stop Beterbiev from being able to rumble forward,
Keep your trainer's head on for a minute, mate, because I'm going to jump onto another fight, and that is the Martin Bakole fight. And, taking it at this short notice, keep your trainer's head on for a minute. Would you have taken the fight in the position that he was in?
Well, this is why I'm baffled by it, and this is why I feel as though they must know something that we don't, because he's got a final eliminator for a world title against somebody who he's a favourite to beat, and he's getting paid really well for it. So he's guaranteed a world title shot. He's coming in at 2 days' notice. He's arriving on the morning of the AM of the fight.
He's arriving this AM.
That's what I mean. He's going to.
The fight's tomorrow night at 12.
Yeah.
He's arriving this AM.
Yeah.
Lands fights, as Johnny says, it'll rob and it'll be in and out.
So
Robin Hood.
Everything's stacked against him. Why would you do that? Unless you know that you've got it. I think they believe that he's got 8 rounds in him. I don't think they believe that we're all saying he's got 4 rounds. I think they believe that he's got 8 rounds. I think he's the throwback fighter who's condition fit from sparring, from fights, sparring, rather than being athletic, doing runs and doing S&C and stuff. And I think they think that he's got 8 rounds in the bank, and they believe that in that 8 rounds they can zap Parker enough so when it comes to the last third of the fight, he's right in front of him, and it's just a case of nuts and guts, and they believe it'll come out.
And he's sort of got nothing to lose, hasn't he, Martin Bakole? Because Turki said come, he's come, and then if he doesn't win, he'll get another shot.
And that's got to be the guarantee, because if I'm looking after Bakole, I'm saying, yeah, but if we do this, then we can't be at the bottom of the queue. And I think he'll be brought straight back.
Brilliant, fascinating, Dave.
Who
Listen,
wins, though?
always-
Parker should win.
Hold on, mate.
I
No
was a bit-
fences.
I was a
There's
bit-
no
no,
fences there.
I was a bit surprised about Parker's weight, because I don't, whether it's against Dubois or against Bakole, his agility and his movement is key.
Is he
Legs.
skimming around this question, Adam, or what? What's happening here?
Well, no,
I
Parker
think he's making a good point here that Parker's a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
bigger.
he's a massive
But
point.
if he's bigger and heavier, it's easier for Bakole to track him down and
Yeah.
so he's made. I think it makes it easier for Bakole in Bakole's situation that Parker's heavier. He's 12 pound heavier than what he has been before, and that weight he lost.
I think it's fair to say, though, whatever way you look at this, if an opponent coming in at last minute with less than 48 hours to go of a fight of this magnitude, he couldn't get tougher than Martin Bakole, that's for sure.
Brilliant.
This is not a foregone conclusion.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Can't wait.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Dave, thank you, mate. Cheers. Brilliant, mate. Thank you so much.
Nice
Cheers,
one.
Dave.